What's up everybody, it's Dark with Age bringing you the awesomeness of today and beyond. Finally, it came in. I cannot believe it came in. The Super SNES Mini Classic Edition. It finally came in the mail. I've been looking forward to getting this console in the mail. I thought this is never gonna happen. I honestly thought it was gonna get lost. My pre-order is gonna get canceled of some sort, but it finally came in. So let's go ahead and unbox this bad boy and give it a full-on review. And I know everybody's thinking about, is it worth getting this console? Let's find out. Alright, let's go ahead and open this baby up. And here it is, ladies and gentlemen. The Super SNES Mini Classic Edition. It looks freaking beautiful. Just look at that box. Look at that box artwork right there. Up first, you're greeted with a manual. This looks like the controller. And here we have our secondary controller. Oh my goodness, it looks really legit. A power supply. An HDMI cable. A micro USB power cord for the power supply. Finally, the granddaddy of it all. Oh my god, just look at it. It looks so gorgeous. It's too tiny, man. Like, wow. I just love the casing on this. The buttons feels legit. It's gorgeous. They really have all the details on this thing, like on spot. It is just phenomenal. Alright, that's all there is to it. Let's go ahead and dive in a little bit more and see why we got this console in the first place. If you all remember, last year we were presented with the NES Famicom Mini Classic. Nintendo's true intention for presenting us this product was only meant to be targeted for a specific niche audience. However, due to Nintendo's poor operation planning, the product exploded to fame and it became one of the most sought-after gaming console of 2016. Because of the high success of the NES Mini Classic, Nintendo has decided to continue this tradition by bringing us the SNES Mini Classic Edition console. Comparing the SNES Mini to the original 16-bit hardware design, Nintendo has done it again in making sure to pay close attention to details by implementing every ridge and bump from the original 90s console. Unlike last year, the NES Famicom Classic, this time Nintendo has given us two controllers. The control design of the SNES Mini looks and feels exactly the same as the original 90s console. It really takes a keen eye to spot any minor difference, but really the product design is outstanding. I am personally overall impressed with what Nintendo has learned from last year's model, and that is addressing the short controller cables. This time we are given a 4.5 feet long. But don't be surprised when you start comparing the SNES Mini cable's length to the original hardware, as it is a little bit longer. To plug in the controller, simply remove the cover flap, and it is an easy plug-in from there. If you also happen to have any Wii family controller, the SNES Mini controller port will accept it. At the back you have your HDMI cable input and your micro USB cable plug-in input. Diving deeper into the console to take a look at the internal PCB board, at its core, the SNES Mini uses the exact same all-winner R16 system on a chip that was featured on the NES Famicom Mini Classic Edition models from last year. This means that both modders and hackers enthusiasts will be in for a treat. To use the console, simply plug in your controller, HDMI cable, micro USB power supply, flip the switch, and you're ready to roll. Like its predecessor, the SNES Mini outputs 720p and its UI menu is a joy to navigate. Not to mention that we are given the same filters as before, choosing between either pixel perfect, 4x3 and the 90s scanline CRT feel. The SNES Mini does have two new additional welcoming features, and they are the ability to choose in-game colorful backdrops and rewinding your gameplay. I personally love this feature as it really does help me out in the event I was to make a mistake. All I have to do is hit the reset button once, which takes me back to the main menu, select the rewind feature, and select the area that I wish to go back to, and I'm ready to roll. This small feature really comes in handy in simplifying your progress of your old school favorite video game. The Super SNES Classic Edition carries 21 of the most iconic classic video games from the 90s, and it is all shoved in a cute, adorable nostalgia console. While last year we were given 30 games with the NES Famicom Mini, this time around Nintendo has decided to give us only 21 games with the SNES Mini console. While this can be a bit of a disappointment, however, you will have to look at it from Nintendo's perspective in choosing quality over quantity in the vast majority of library of video games and genres that the 90s Super NES console had to offer. Now I know what you're wondering, what about the emulation? How good is it? Well, visually speaking, Nintendo has done an excellent job here. Visuals are exactly how I remember to the original hardware overall, and it is definitely superior to the SNES Virtual Console releases. This is because a good chunk of the games that we are given this time around for the SNES Mini contains the Super FX chip, aka the Mario chip, which stands for Mathematical Ergonaut Rotation and Input-Output. This chip alone was used to render those sweet 3D polygons, and it assisted the SNES in rendering advanced 2D effects. One iconic video game that utilized this chip was Star Fox. Keep in mind that this is also the first time that Nintendo has actually given us any video games that utilizes the Super FX chip, and has never made it to the Super Virtual Console releases. Which brings us to the main highlight of the SNES Mini, and that is the first time ever release of Star Fox 2, which is said to utilize not one, but two Super FX chips. This is a huge deal regards to video gaming history and as to why Star Fox 2 got cancelled back in 1995. This was mainly due to the technology that was used for Star Fox 2, which contains an impressive 3D polygon rendering. And because now we have Star Fox 2, we can now enjoy and witness the impressive 3D rendering technology and how it got passed on over to the beloved N64 console. Yes, I know, and I'm very well aware that there are other alternatives to playing your retro video games from the 16-bit era via emulators on PC or on a Raspberry Pi. But you have to understand a few key points here, and they are: 1. This console is coming directly from Nintendo, where all the ROMs are an official release from them. Because if you plan to purchase the physical game cartridges of each of these video game ROMs, it is going to cost you a fortune, as retro video game market of today is ridiculously expensive. 2. Unlike the NES Famicom Mini, you're getting an additional controller. 3. This is the first time ever that Nintendo has given us video games that are software coded to utilize the Super FX chip, which was never made to be available in the SNES Virtual Console library releases. In addition, this console also carries the first time ever exclusive release of Star Fox 2. For $80, you're essentially getting a great deal for not only a great piece of hardware to tinker with the inclusion to an exclusive game. So who is this console for? The answer is simple, and it can be for just about anyone. It doesn't matter whether you are a casual gamer, wanting it for display purposes, modification, or maybe you just want a console that is easy to plug and play and enjoy that sweet craving of nostalgia. This tiny but delightfully detailed SNES Mini delivers all of that, making it an easy to have authentic 90s Nintendo experience for both old and new generation. I'm kinda curious, what are your thoughts about the SNES Mini Classic Edition console? Are you planning on getting one? And if so, what are some of your favorite games? And as always, I thank you guys for watching this video, and if you happen to like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and do leave me your feedback down in the comment section below. And if you want to get in touch with me live, you can always hit me up on Twitter or on Instagram. And if you did not happen to get yourself an SNES Mini Classic Edition model, stay tuned to my next video as I'm going to go ahead and give you tips on how you can get yourself one of these consoles. And with that said, this is Dark with '80s signing off, and I'll see you guys next time.